So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Monday evening connection. And we are in New York, and thank you for hosting us. The host is not even home yet, so that's okay. That's how we've been hosted. They live in us the house, so we can share. It's beautiful. Uh, as you been with us for some time, or your first time, joining us this type of sessions, for us is awakening more ourselves and more the world to more of the spiritual part of our life. There is the physical part, there is the world that we live in, the busyness that we're doing. But obviously, the Kabbalah speaks about that when you awaken your spirit, you awaken first your spiritual aspect, your soul aspect. This physical world work much faster, much better for you, as opposed to doing the physical life, getting physical materialism and all of that, and then awaken the spiritual, right? When I have everything, then I'm going to be spiritual. Most of the time it doesn't work. A lot of people planning that type of thing, like they plan retirement, like they plan, the mortgage and all of that. This is not what we're talking about. You got to think completely outside of that box, right? So what do you want to do is, first of all, equip yourself with the understanding that everything in the physical world is a result. It's not the cause. So let's understand this type of reality and how we can use this week to awaken more of the reality of the cause, not the reality of the effect. This week, there's a beautiful story, very interesting, and I can go on and on with the story just by the story, the sheer story. But obviously, I don't really like just to share the story, but I like to message and the gift that we have this week. A lot of this gift in this week is sometimes what we can connect, sometimes what we can prevent. Okay? Sometimes there is a preventative medicines. Sometimes is what I want to increase, right? So everything is preventative, but there's some time for this and some time for that. Here in this week, majority of this week's power is to stop what we call stop the force of evil in our life for an unnecessary reason. What do you mean the force of evil? Let's understand, is there an evil? Are there evil people? Most of us will answer, yes, I know a few of them, my uncle, my neighbor, all kind of people will jump and says, yeah, I know about those evil people. Come to my neighborhood, I'll show you all of them. No. First of all, it's a translation of how we and the entire world categorize or box these type of things in a frame, call it evil or negativity. Okay. There's a story in this week that actually majority of the story is about these two people. Their name is important to mention, Balak and Bilam. This is two, Balak and Bilam. Right? That's what the people know, heard about it. They are the very powerful sources of sorcerers of the negative side. We know that Balak, the name Balak, is also the word, what we call, again, kibel, which is a different word. If you switch the letter, the word kibel, which is to receive, right? But what is a Balak force is ability, is to control what we call evil eye. And Bilam, known to be the evil tongue, right? He knew how with his words, with his mouth, to lure everybody to do. He could hypnotize everyone. One with the eyes, one with the mouth. Separately, they could not create negativity. Only when they join venture in this week, they were able to download a lot of negative energy in here. Well, let's explain what it means. For example, water. Is it good? Yeah. But if too much of that makes you feel gagging, right? But it's water. It should be good. Too much water, no good. Waterfall. Oh, what a nice waterfall. But stand under the Niagara Falls, you're gonna be smashed, or whatever, maybe other waterfall, right? So water, I love to surf, right? California guys and girls, they like to surf, right? But a big wave, crash from a big wave, it's not such fun, right? You get swallowed, you get into, you know, you can get, God forbid, drowned. But it's water, it should be life, it should be amazing. No. Everything in this world, sun, look at the sun, it's amazing. Sun can be good, can be bad. Everything in this world have the force, what we call, quote unquote, the evil within it. What do you mean the evil? Let's understand, first of all, from a Kabbalistic point of view, what evil means. So I shared a few times in the last few weeks about what the Kabbalah speaks about, the 3-column system. Like the light bulb, there is the plus, which is the positive, and there's the negative, which is the minus. Now, is the minus or the negative, is it bad? No. Without that, no light can be triggered. No, there's no way. So obviously, who is good and who is bad? I mean, you cannot say that one is bad and one is good. No way. This way, our ability as individual, as the power of who we are, is to convert the negativity into positivity. That's the real human power. To convert darkness into light. That's the real human aspect. Any one of us have it within his own circle, the ability to convert darkness into light, negativity into positivity, challenges into opportunity, right? This is who we are. What happening this week? And again, let's understand a little bit more. When we're speaking about evil eye, a lot of people living here, at least I know in the States or in many different European countries, I don't know, maybe the entire world, I don't know. But some of us, a lot of us feels that, you know, there's somebody who you came to a party and you said, oh, that person gives me the evil eye, right? You speak this way. You know what I'm talking about? Like everybody, oh, yeah, this person gives me the evil eye, right? Like, how do you know? How, what did the person did or do to make you feel that they gave you this evil force, right? So first of all, it doesn't really just work this way, okay? Obviously, and again, even if you dig your head in the sand and thinking nobody look at you in an evil way, doesn't mean it's not happening, okay? So it's happening either way, and we're going to speak a little bit more today how to protect ourselves. And not just to protect ourselves, to protect others from us. Because sometimes we can be the force of evil and we don't even know even how great we are. I'm going to give you a few ideas so you can protect others from you and you can protect yourself from others. But also need to understand what it means evil. Evil, it's not evil in like murderers and slaughterers and all kind of like crazy people. This is a translation of what we're calling evil. But let's understand the source, because this is already like when a person is already too crazy or too lunatics, it's already a result of many steps before. Let's understand where it comes from. First, where does evil start? First, it's in our head. It's not external. You have to understand, the majority of the people who dealing with protecting themselves externally, it's really, the amount of that is so hard that eventually people need to close themselves in the house in order to protect themselves, and still not going to happen, because the neighbors downstairs will call you an evil person by walking even, or by just going to sleep, right? Let's understand the roots of that. Evil, it means lack. Lack. What is lack? I don't have. I'm missing something. What? That's bad? Obviously, our translation for something that is lacking is bad. And majority of the problem is the translation, or at least the language that we use, obviously in our mind, and then is translated into this world, what we call lack. For us, it's bad. It's that's the slow transition into negative. It's not good. I don't have enough money. I don't have my soulmate. I don't have a car. I don't have money to finish the month. I don't have more to spend on vacation. I don't have to buy for my mom a house. I don't have to bamba. A lot of that over time is being translated as negative, as bad. Why? Because as soon as we detect lack, what are we looking for? Who has it before me? Who has it? Why I don't have? Or the other way around. I see someone have something, then it triggers me to want the same thing, right? So let's understand that idea, because first of all, we need to equip ourselves with consciousness that allow us to see lack in different eyes. Lack is not lack until it's accepted in our mind as lack. Let's understand what we're saying here. Because from now on, I would suggest for you, as a wisdom that exists for thousands of years, telling us, it's not me, my dear. Nothing that I'm sharing here is my own idea. I came up with the concept. It's a very ancient wisdom. I just cut through all the other stories to help you get the tools. Lack, it's a direction. It's like, when you're driving in the street, right? When you're driving in the street, they tell you, take right here, stop sign there, right? All them, the signs. What is the signs in our life? Is lack. Wherever there is lack, there is a direction of the universe tells you that is the direction. What do you mean lack? Oh, I want to run away from that, right? They don't give me what I want. I'm going to run away. It's not my home, so I'm not going to be there. It's not my circle of people. I'm not going to go. It's all kind of things that people recognize lack. They go under. They hide themselves. They run away from lack. They're afraid of lack. But really, that's the direction you need to go. And what people do, go the other way around. Why? Because lack, it's evil. It's negative. It's not good, right? I have lack of communication with one of my employees. What do? I don't want to talk to them. They don't get. I'm running away from them. Or as a boss, I got to deal with that, right? So again, lack, it's a direction of the creator to you to tell you where I would love you to reveal more. That's first of all the interaction. Lack represent vessel. It is a vessel. A vessel for what? A vessel for revelation. not any other thing beside revelation of light, fulfillment, and a direction where you can grow your life. So now, if you take two people, how do we know? Because lack for one person represents fulfillment for another person, right? Someone think, like someone says, oh, I really want to see my friend, I'm lacking this friendship and all of that. One will says, oh, please take all my friend, I just need a break, right? For one will be like, oh, it's too much, and for one will be like, I'm thirsty for that, right? Someone will have lack, the other person will look at that and says, no, it's actually fulfillment. In that case, we know it's only individual. Whatever you recognize lack in your life, it's the Creator direct you where you can grow and reveal more light in your life or in this world, where you can influence. So in that same breath, we're saying, I want to start being proactive about lack. How can I be proactive about lack? I'm not waiting until suddenly I realize I don't have it. Suddenly they left. Suddenly I got fired. Suddenly that's not happening. Suddenly lack of health. Suddenly lack of money. A lot of people waiting until something is missing. Let me feel that, right? For example, today we all equipped and we start learning that, for example, I don't know, with Amazon, right? I know my dog finish a bucket of food every 3 weeks. So I put an order every 3 weeks, right? Now, obviously, imagine if I go away for a couple of days, right? And the dog comes with me and he didn't take food, right? So all of a sudden I'm accumulating. But I can calculate, right, that I can already replenish the stock before. That's a proactive way, right? Everybody doing it, right? Today, with technology, your refrigerator will start telling you, by the way, I'm calling Amazon to order milk because you're about to run out, right? I notice you pull up 10 different times the milk carton, right? So I'm going to order for you, right? In a way, that's going to happen. But in life, we are not yet equipped consciously to awaken that proactive lack. What does it mean? First is the idea of evil or lack. Most people will experiencing lack when they detect something is missing. That is what we call a very reactive way, it's very, robotic way. What are we looking for? You have to remember, a person never gonna speak or say something bad unless he saw something in his eyes as evil. A person needs to see in his eye, in his vision, or whatever it is, something negative, then right away he's going to say, wow, look how bad it is. Remember that again. When a person starts seeing bad over a period of time, right, it's inevitable when that person is going to start speaking bad. Think about it. You're not waking up and just want to speak bad. Unless you saw something in the news, something that, or you didn't see a text from somebody, you right away start seeing the lack, and then you start speaking, call your friends, I can't believe it. He didn't text, he didn't call, blah, blah, blah. We start gossiping about it right away, and then it becomes very bitter. Remember, eyes seen first, then you speak in bad. And what happened with this? You cementing the negativity as bad in your life and in this world. That's the problem. When I'm getting used to seeing what not, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong, it's not a problem. For what reason you start seeing what's wrong? So you can fix it, or, oh, this is wrong, I need to be aware, I need to be running away from this. Eventually, you start seeing bad or lack, you're going to start speaking in a bad way. Remember, negative talk and negative sight eventually cementing negativity in your life. You have to be aware. You have to be aware. Why? Because you're making the wicked or the negative or the evil permanent in your life. You, by over time seeing this is wrong, this is bad, this is, I don't like this, I'm lacking of that, I don't have a, and soon enough, you're going to start speaking bad about it. And then we have to remember, these are two levels of energy that exist within human being. The eyes and the mouth are very powerful when you join them together. Remember that. By itself, looking bad, it's one level, but we can solve it. But once, again, nobody wakes up and just speaking bad, unless they saw something bad or somebody showed them something bad, and now they are joining on that same aspect. Very important to be aware of that. Okay? Now, what happened in this way? You've been controlled with evil of your thoughts, because remember, the mind is just, the brain is just a receiver. So once you see in bad, you're actually tuning your mind, your brain, to give you a lack, always lack. Show me how bad everything, show me how wrong everything. Then your mouth actualize it, right? The mouth is manifestation. So you actualize the wisdom, and then you permanently make a disconnect between your mind and your heart. Once is that been disconnected, nothing can manifest in your life. Huge manifestation happening when people joining their mind and their heart together. That is when you are super powerful. That's when you're unstoppable. So very important to be aware of it. And as a result of that, what do we get? If I'm disconnected between the thoughts and the heart, you created a space. It's you. Nobody did it for you. There is no God or some creator or some force that wants to defeat you. Yes, there is a force. It's called the force of confusion. You know who injected the force of confusion? Us. By, again, eyes and words together, Balak and Bilam together, you cement yourself into a very much a fragmented reality that will always suggest you a very fraction of reality, or just you're going to experience just as bad as everything. So one of the things that we need to awaken here, if you experience any lack, relationship, money, solution, a client, whatever it is, anytime you're experiencing lack, you have to pause and tell yourself, this lack that I'm experiencing right now, it's a result. It's a result. It's not the cause. It's a result. What do you mean it's a result? Results of what? Of the universe wants to give me so much more. So Benjamin, I'm very, very confused. It's paradoxical, right? You say the universe want to give me so much more, but then you say the lack is a result. So what, the universe give me lack? Yes. It shows me, or let's put it this way, it's concealed for me something, so I can awaken what we call more desire. Lack is only a result of what? The universe keep giving me and showing me lack. so I can fill it up with whatever, what we call light, with energy, with happiness, with joy, with so many other things. Let's understand deeper. What is when you see lack? And I look at lack as a cause, right? Let's say you look at the lack as a cause, right? What do you mean a cause? It's a cause for more negativity. Because imagine after a while that something is lacking, what does it bring? It brings you more lack, right? More and more lack. And I can't stop it, become even more like when someone is in debt. They're going out of debt or they're adding more debt, right? Usually majority of the people of the world, when they're going into debt, it becomes even more, right? They go into company, goes into in real estate. A lot of people accumulating debt. Of course, they say debt is, that's how you make money. But again, I don't want to go into that section. But the problem is, when you allow lack to become a cause, it becomes way more powerful than you. Lack is the effect. I need to find out why the universe present to me with a certain lack. That lack, I know it's a fact, it's here. I just need to find what the reason. What's the cause of the lack? And the cause for the lack is that the universe is directing me, is channeling me, funneling me to a way more protected, way more fulfilling life. That's what lack meant to do. So if I'm allowing the force of confusion to be part of my system, so therefore I would always look at lack as a cause, not the effect. And the cause meaning it's something that is wrong. And if I see the lack as a cause, I will be affected by that. What does it mean? I want to fill that up. No. Any lack never meant to be fulfilled. First of all, meant to be awaken you to a certain aspect or a certain direction or a certain gear that you need to move into. Lack is not lack. It's a tool from the universe to move us, to propel us, to jump us to a complete different level. This is part of the, part of the problem. So I just wrote 3 examples. I have to go to my notes. I always remember in the end of the class, oh, I didn't go to my notes. I forgot. Okay, so forgive me for that. But what is, when you're looking at force of lack? So for example, what happened sometime, that from in one hand, I'm looking for my soulmate, right? I don't find my soulmate, right? So let's understand how the system works. I see everybody else finding relationship. I'm lacking, right? I see everybody finding. I see people. I go on a date, but I'm still lacking, right? So I see it happening. I see people having it, and then when it's going on a little bit longer than what we thought or expected, then we start speaking bad about all the people I'm dating, they're not available. Start speaking bad about, there's no even single people, everybody's taken. There's no, in New York, there's no people, there's no clients. Everybody's gone. All the industry is dead. There's never going to find a new solution. Soulmate, forget about it. I gave up long time ago. Oh, everybody's stupid. Whoever left is only the stupid people. All kind of like ideas that we speak in bed about the industry, it's done, or social media is evil, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because over time, when I'm spending more seeing the lack, I'm going to start talking bad about it. You can see it, my dear. Please look at that and see how we live our life like that. And again, it's all talk or conversation that was generated by lack. By lack. And instead of understanding that that lack is the solution, that lack is a direction. And let's understand a little bit deeper here. Let's go a little bit more. The idea of lack, right? It's the wisdom of the creation. Without lack, or at least experiencing lack, I'm not awakening any wisdom of the creation. So look at that. We coming from a very high level, very fulfilling place. The lack that we experience is part of the illusion that needs to create it. Lack will not be able to exist, right? If we wouldn't have this world. This physical world that we live in meant to awaken lack, so we will desire greater, not less. What happened to people when they're experiencing lack more than 5, 6, 7 times? Eventually, they cutting down their desire. Okay, I guess it's not meant to be. That's how it's a cop-out, right? It's an excuse not to work harder, not to desire greater. So then, if the universe build in a way that wants to give us way, way more, just look at galaxies, just look at outer space, look what existed, look how the influence of all the stars and all the supernovas building us, shaping us, helping us. You don't even know that that's how it's happening every single day. It's amazing how the whole entire universe, galaxies influencing us. Galaxies are 10 million miles away from here, influence you today. Tens of millions of miles of light years away. The same thing. That lack that you experience, it's almost like a galaxy that says, you know what, we're going to create. Okay, I'm going to share you the example. I don't have much time, but astronomers, how they detect movement by concealment. It's amazing because they looking up in the stars, and when they see a star blinking, the star is not blinking, but they know because something a movement was crossing at that moment. So that's how they track the movement, by lack. Only through lack they detect where the fulfillment is. It's an amazing concept. Again, I don't have time to get into it, but if you understand astronomy, it's very simple how they doing it. They tracking certain lack. How? When a star is shining and something go across it, it's hidden for a second. So it seems like blinking, meaning that's what they call it. Through concealments, we discover fulfillment. That's what it is. Through lack, you can detect a direction where you can really find the solution of your life. Don't run away from that. And don't fall to speak bad about it. Take that, don't mention it, don't verbalize. Once you verbalize that, you cement it. Okay? So here, if we understand that lack is a blessing, not a curse, I need to treat it differently. First of all, in my consciousness, then in the direction or the choice of action that I'm taking. So that's one of the things that we want to awaken here is the spiritual protection. A spiritual protection. What? Protecting our soul, protecting your life, protection. How do you protect yourself? By a security system? By another password? That's what secure you. But what? Nothing is secure. Nothing is protecting us beside us. And this is the direction for protection. So I'm going to give you that idea because these two people, Balak and Bilam, their consciousness of this week is they want to completely curse the Israelite. Curse meaning to create damages in this world. Funny enough, in the story, they're about to go and curse the Israelite, and all what came out of their mouth is a blessing. It's a beautiful blessing. Actually, the blessing that remained until now, the strongest blessing that came out of those evil people. But remember, it's not that. It's because the protection of the people, that whatever comes out, even if it's meant to hurt us, it translates as a huge blessings to our life. How do we get to that place? Two things. One is, how do I awaken that protection? It says, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Israel. That's the verse that he's using. Now, again, I don't have so much time here, but this is, how long do we have more? 5, 10? Okay. Step number one, in the blessing or in the protection builder, we need to understand the codes that have been given to us this week. It's a code that we need to awaken individually. Step number one is to know what's the goal. The goal is ma tovu. Ma tovu is what good or what goodness exists. But listen, this is the literal translation. Let's understand the deeper part. Ma is what, but it's the two-letter mem and hey that represent by the number 45. It's numerical value 45. The same numerical value as Adam, which is man, human. In these blessings, we've been given the blessing to become human. If you think you are human, I think you should revisit that. Humans are meant to be so elevated and so connected, again, in a way of like human dignity, in a way of like, again, no evil. Again, I don't have time for that, but we are not yet there. A majority of us are in the level of animal. Even though we know how to talk, we know how to walk, we know how to do things, we're still not there yet. We're jumping in and out. So it says, what goodness, what good been given to us? It says, in the tent of Yaakov and in the house of Israel. Let's understand what does this blessing mean. First step, been hinted to us that we get blessed to become human, meaning the goodness that we meant to share with us, with our surrounding, with this world, is tremendous goodness, only goodness. The absolute goodness can be revealed, can be shared when all of us achieve level of humanity, become humans, right? But in order to achieve that, we need to be in a frame of a tent. What do you mean a tent? He says tent or permanent housing. That's what the translation means. So you need to come to the level that you're in a level of a tent. What did tent represent? A few things. The word even tent is the numerical value 36. We know that there are 36 different channels in this world, that the world exists and survive with their channeling into this world. But those channels jump from one thing to another. It's not always the same individual sometimes, right? So Each one of us can be a channel at certain moment, like a tent. Sometimes, what is a tent? May represent temporary. Sometimes you are channel to something. But most of us, let's say there's a day that you channel something to the company that you're working for, and you're like, wow, that was amazing, right? And then all of us holding on that. Wow, I'm so amazing. Wow, look, I channeled, I saved the company, I saved the world, right? Hey, relax. You've been given to be a channel. What? Just for that moment. Don't fly over yourself, okay? Don't, hey, calm down. Take a notch down. It's just a tent. It was just a moment. For example, for me, I know in the class, maybe I'll ask to be a channel for this wisdom. After the class, it's done. Every moment you share, it's a moment for you to channel a lot. But if not, you're not like that. It's an tent. What do you mean a tent represent? Always remember, don't hold yourself in that high prestige of like, I'm a channel, I'm this. Wow, look what I did for the world. Many people build amazing company. 2 seconds later, they were in the garbage, right? So don't hold on yourself this way. Second, as I said before, sometimes we give in messages to others. Doesn't mean that you are that elevated and you already overcome just because you gave a good message to someone. Remember, my work is in a tent. Okay? It's not always. Second thing is, the universe is using us in a moment. So don't think it's yours. You are being used by the universe to channel that light or that moment for a second. It's not of yours, right? Then, when you do spiritual work, always hold your spiritual work in a tent. What does it mean? I'm not there yet. What do you mean a tent? I'm here, but I know I'm in a risk of every channel can blow my tent away. Right? My spiritual work, I'm doing so much. And then in one day, I saw many people, sometimes working 10 years. And all of a sudden, in one day, boom, back into the 1% in the physical world, back into lust, right? How? What happened to them? They're so spiritual in one day, all of a sudden that came, and then because we think, because I'm doing some spiritual action, or if I'm showing up to the class, I'm spiritual. No, I'm in a tent. Never think that it's yours and it stays there. At least that give you the opportunity to always making sure that it's not always going to be there for you. And the next level you want to get into is permanency. Permanent connection to your light. How do we do that? By permanency of our spiritual work. What do you do spiritually? In a permanent way. I'm never going to move from that. I'm doing it in a permanent way. When you have that, you combine the both. And that is the protection. When you have permanency for spiritual work, you can build protection around it. When you're only a temporary spiritual person, it's very hard to gain full protection this way. Okay? Protection that nobody protect you. It's you creating like a dome, like a protection shield around. Okay? And the third idea that I recommend is to always either say a blessing or say a prayer or appreciation for the miracles that you don't see in your life. Think about it. Okay? There are many, many miracles that are happening to you. Even just to walk from your home to work. Many miracles were on the way, but you oblivion, you don't even know, right? So just awaken that to the miracles that I can't see. It's a very powerful layers that you can create for yourself. Again, I wish I can go back and go again about what we spoke about. Very, very powerful week. very powerful protection that I really recommend to listen again and take some steps. Okay. One thing is as well, remember when you start seeing things, seeing lack, don't fall into it. Don't speak anything about it. Recognize, ask, where is the universe directing me? What within that lack? It needs to be awakened for me. Taking me, channeling me. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here and sharing this wisdom. Like it or not, subscribe for it or not, up to you. But please do something about it. Thank you.